Israel's Security Cabinet convening today to discuss whether to allow the contentious flag march that takes place every year through Jerusalem to take place or not after warnings from the Israeli police over the possibility of clashes taking place between those marchers and residents of the Muslim quarter of Jerusalem. For more on this, I'm joined by Yariv Oppenheimer, director of the Geneva Initiative, and also Simcha Rotman, a member of the Israeli Parliament, a lawmaker for the Religious Zionism Party. So thank you both of us for being here. I'll start with you, Yariv. So, you know, this march takes place every year. It's already been canceled once this year. Now they want to cancel it again. Some people are saying that it's, you know, it's caving in to threats from some of the Muslim residents there, or maybe even from Gaza, from Hamas, that if Israel does this march, violence will erupt, and Israel is caving in.
3 weeks ago we had this parade, and it went through the east side of Jerusalem, but we are not talking about the most sensitive area next to Nablus Gate, and this is the most problematic area, because this is the motivation of the right wing. They would like to see this parade again, not because of Jerusalem, just because of the Palestinians, to try to show to the Palestinians that the Jewish people are more powerful than the Palestinians, and we can wave the Israeli flag without them having the ability to wave their flag. We need to remember that in Jerusalem, half of the population are not Israeli citizens. They have no rights. They cannot vote for the parliament, and
but they can become citizens and at least residents.
It's not really true. They cannot. The procedure is not really allow them to be Israeli citizens. By the way, if they will be citizens, the right wing in Israel will never have a majority in the parliament. But we need to remember Jerusalem is important for the Palestinian living there. It's important for all the Muslim people around the world. This is why the sovereignty over the Temple Mount is joined to us and the Jordanian kingdom. So we are not alone. This parade is a provocation. And the goal, by the way, is not the Palestinian. The goal is the last resort to try to prevent the new government from being sworn in on Sunday. This is the motivation. They are trying to fire here a big escalation in order to prevent the government from becoming a new government.
Simcha, I want to come to you here. There are quite extraordinary circumstances. Israel just came off, a serious conflict with Hamas. We saw intercommunal violence inside Israeli cities. Maybe this year the march should not take place through the Old City. What do you think?
So first, I have to say, every to march with Israeli flag, with the national flag in the capital of Israel, to call it a provocation, provocative action, or to prevent it because of threats of violence, either from Arabs living in Israel or from Hamas, is a shame. I don't think any independent country can allow it. And even if it was just, and I don't think it's just for that, but even if it was only for provocations, for provocative actions, we should allow it, because we can't accept the idea that marching with the Israeli flag, it's not a racist
Simcha,
flag.
can I ask you a question?
It's not some group's flag.
Simcha.
It's the Israeli national flag.
Simcha, can I ask you a question? Do you think that the Pride Parade can go over, for example, the Orthodox religious neighborhoods in Jerusalem? It's the capital of Israel, you know.
As I said very clearly, and I heard you before comparing it to the Arabs, you call them Palestinians, I don't know why, cannot march with their own flag. No. The national flag is unlike any other flag. There is a law in Israel. The national flag is unique. You cannot compare it not to the Pride flag, and definitely not to the non-existent.
But if Jerusalem is free to everyone, and everyone has the freedom to march, so maybe the Pride Parade can go over the Orthodox religious neighborhoods.
No country in the world will accept marching with the flag, with the national flag, as an provocative action, or it's something illegitimate, or it's something that needs to be compared to any other flag. I would buy with the same effect. If someone would try to march through the non-Zionist parts of Jews, that living non-Zionist Jews that live in Jerusalem. And they will try to prevent someone from marching with the Israeli flag there. I would object to it just the same. The Israeli flag is unlike any other flag.
I would just ask
the fact that we're... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I would just ask you, Liv, I mean, when you talk about it as a provocation and everything, would you consider that also on a normal year, like not now with these circumstances that sort of have arisen with Sheikh Jarrah and the conflict with Hamas and all that, but also every year you think the march should not take place?
Every year there's a dispute about this match, and I think that this match should take place, but not in the exact location where the Palestinians are living. And again, there is no capital in the world that half of the population of the capital are not citizens of the state. It's an abnormal situation, and this is why going with the Israeli flag
Washington,
into the
D.C. citizen residents are not the citizens of the state.
But people living there are citizens of Washington, D.C., and you don't have occupation there. And I'm saying that we need to be smart, not just right. We are the majority, we have the power, and to do this provocation is not to show force. To do this provocation is to show that you are ready for confrontation, or not only about the national issue, but also about the religious issue. And we saw just a few weeks ago, we are going to pay with blood for this provocation that will not lead us anywhere. So I'm saying, let's be smart. Even if you are right-wing, I'm not. I think that we need to find a solution to Jerusalem. But even the right-wing people are saying, okay, we have control over many parts of East Jerusalem. We have control even on the Muslim part of the old city. We don't need another provocation that will just create more tension and more violence.
I just want to ask, Simcha, sorry, you want to say something there?
I say that anyone who blames Jews that are walking in the state of Israel, in the capital of the state of Israel, in Jerusalem, with flags. Anyone who blames them for violent actions by terrorist organizations, either from within or from without the state of Israel, is terror justifier. He allows
Simcha, but you are honest enough. Simcha,
you cannot, Yariv, you cannot justify terror, and you do it time and again.
Okay.
There is no justification for terror.
Simcha, you are honest enough to say out loud, I'm against the Pride Parade going into the ultra-Orthodox religious neighborhood.
Are you against that?
You are saying that, right?
I said very clearly. Mm-hmm. You're right that I am honest enough, because you support the Pride Parade, even though 2 people were murdered during the Pride Parade. You never said a word. Don't do the parade because it's dangerous.
I'm saying don't do the parade.
You never objected to it. I am honest enough to say that there is no way to compare marching with the Israeli flag, with the national flag, to any other flag. Not the pride flag, not Palestinian
Actually, what Simcha is saying.
One second. Let him just finish, and then a final word. What here.
Simcha is saying that we need to take into consideration also the feeling of the people, and he's saying the Pride Parade should not go to this.
You're
saying because you're not saying honestly the opposite, and I'm saying
the fact that
most of the people, including the Israeli police, thinks that what Simcha is in favor is dangerous to the security of people. So let's be smart.
We understand that there's obviously disagreement on that issue, and also not to mention the gay parade, which is a separate issue. But
which I said it's not the same issue. I said very clearly, even the ultra-Orthodox part, the anti-Zionist part of Jerusalem, if someone will try to prevent going through there with the Israeli flag, with the national flag, I will object to it. Doesn't matter who are the people who object.
The Israeli flag, but not the Pride Parade flag.
We have to finish.
You know, the freedom of speech is only for the interest of Simcha.
Last sentence. All right, that's it. We have to finish there. Sorry about that. We could go on and on all day, of course, but thank you for the input, Simcha Lotman from the Religious Zionism Party, and Eli Oppenheimer, Director of the Geneva Initiative. And